Good morning, my dear. I bless you with softness before the world asks anything of you. I bless your mind with a little more quiet, your body with a little more ease, and your heart with the reminder that you do not have to fix your whole life before breakfast. If you are feeling afraid this morning, please do not rush to solve everything. Do not hurry to become cheerful. Do not force yourself into some bright, shiny version of peace that your nervous system cannot yet hold. First, just come back to yourself. First, let the body know that it is no longer alone. Fear is not proof that you are broken. Fear is often just a signal that the system is overwhelmed and asking to be held more tenderly. So before you repair the outer life, soothe the inner one. Before you plan, prove, answer, or worry, place one gentle hand over your heart and breathe out like someone setting down a heavy bag. You do not need to become positive in one heroic leap. You only need to move from alarm to safety, from bracing to breathing, from being hunted by fear to being accompanied by love. And I want to ask you something very quietly this morning, not so you can analyze it, but so you can become more honest with yourself. What are you afraid of right now that you have not yet stopped to hold with compassion? What fear has been speaking inside you while you kept acting as though you had no time to listen? My dear, today is not asking you to conquer that fear. Today is only asking you to stop abandoning yourself in the presence of it. I am safe now. All is well. I choose peace. Let those words become the tone of this morning, not because everything is perfect, but because you are here, and that matters. There is a tender little window when you first wake up, and I want you to treat it like something holy. In those first few minutes, before the phone, before the messages, before the noise of the world starts recruiting your attention, the mind is still softer, more open, less defended. It is as though the door between the conscious and the deeper mind is still gently open, and what enters there settles more deeply. That is why the morning matters so much, my dear. Not because you must do everything perfectly the second you open your eyes, but because what you place into yourself then becomes emotional weather for the rest of the day. If the first thing you feed your mind is urgency, comparison, bad news, unfinished tasks, or other people's demands, then the nervous system wakes up and begins running before it has even stood on its own feet. But if the first thing you feed your mind is safety, breath, peace, kindness, and a slower truth, then something else begins to grow. The whole body says, perhaps today is not an emergency after all. So if you can, before you even touch the phone, give yourself 3 or 5 minutes. That is all. Lie there or sit up gently. Breathe. Listen. Let the words enter you before the world does. Let peace be the first voice you hear, not panic. Let safety be the first command your nervous system receives, not urgency. My dear, those few minutes are not small. They are like setting the table for your whole day. They are like choosing the first color on the canvas. They are like telling the inner child, before anyone else gets you, I am here. And once that happens, the mind is less likely to run so far into fear it has already been met. It has already been softened. It has already been reminded, I am safe now. All is well. I choose peace. And one of the deepest ways to create that safety inside yourself is through forgiveness, because so much fear is simply old pain that never found a gentle place to leave. It keeps the nervous system looking backward while the body is trying to live forward. And my dear, forgiveness is not saying what happened was acceptable. It is not pretending your hurt was not real. It is not making yourself spiritually agreeable while something inside you is still bleeding. Forgiveness is freedom. Forgiveness is cutting the cord between your present peace and your old pain. It is saying, I do not want to keep paying for this with my life force. That is why I want you to begin building what I call a little safety island inside your mind, a place in you where you can return when the past rises, when fear rises, when memory rises, when your body suddenly becomes small again. Imagine a place that belongs only to your healing. Maybe it is full of soft light, or quiet water, or warm sand, or a simple chair by a window. Maybe it is only a feeling, but it is protected. Nothing harmful enters there. Nothing from the past gets to rule there. It is the place where the wiser part of you meets the frightened part and says, you are safe now. Then place your hand on your heart and whisper, I release the past with love. I am safe now. Again, slower, like someone untying an old knot, I release the past with love. I am safe now. My dear, let that become your bridge out of old fear. Let your safety island become the place you return to, instead of letting the old pain run through the whole house. And because the body loves specifics, I want to bring this feeling of safety into the ordinary places where fear so often hides. Safety is not only something you feel in meditation. It must be invited into your actual life. So let us begin at home. So many people walk through their own homes carrying tension as though every room is watching them. But your home, even if imperfect, can become a sanctuary when you speak to it differently. Say softly, my home is a safe place. Let the walls hear it. Let the bed hear it. Let the morning light hear it. Then bring that same safety into work, because so many people leave their peace at the door the moment they begin performing. Whisper, I am safe to be seen and supported. My dear, that is such a healing sentence for the one who has spent years trying to earn belonging through overwork. Then bring safety into relationships, not by trying to make everyone good, but by choosing a different standard. I choose relationships that honor me. Read that and feel your spine lift a little. Love is not meant to cost you your dignity. Safety must travel with you there too. Then bring it into travel, movement, and all the spaces where uncertainty usually speaks loudly. I am protected wherever I go. Let the car hear it. Let the road hear it. Let the airport, the sidewalk, the unfamiliar place hear it. And finally bring it even into sleep, because the body heals most deeply when it is not fighting invisible danger all night. Say, I sleep in peace. My body restores. My dear, these are not just comforting words. They are instructions to the nervous system. They are little permissions for the body to stop living as though everything is threat. And when the brain feels safer, life really does begin to have room to improve. You think more clearly. You choose more wisely. You react less wildly. You receive more easily. So let safety become practical. Let it enter the rooms, the relationships, the tasks, the roads, and even the night. So this morning, my dear, I do not want you to ask for a perfect life before you allow peace. I want you to build peace first, softly, steadily, like someone lighting a candle before the day begins. Before the phone, before the headlines, before the old stories, before the fear can gather speed, sit with yourself for a few sacred minutes and say what your body most needs to hear. Say it slowly enough that the deeper part of you can trust it. I am safe now. All is well. I choose peace. If the past pulls at you, come back to the island and whisper, I release the past with love. I am safe now. If the mind runs into the day too quickly, stop it gently and return to the consciousness window before the world claims it. If fear begins naming all the places it could hide, answer it place by place. My home is a safe place. I am safe to be seen and supported. I choose relationships that honor me. I am protected wherever I go. I sleep in peace. My body restores. My darling, this is how mornings become medicine, not through pressure, not through performance, through repetition, tenderness, and safety spoken with love. And as you go into the rest of this day, let these truths stay near you like a warm hand between your shoulders. You do not need to force positivity. You only need to keep returning to safety. You do not need to solve life before you soften. You only need to let the nervous system know it may come down from alarm. And you do not need to wait for everything outside to change before you begin living differently inside. I am safe now. All is well. I choose peace. Let that be your morning home. Say these things to yourself, my dear, and do not rush past them. Let them land. Let them move through the body before you ask the mind to fully agree. So often, when fear rises, people try to fix the whole future at once. They try to solve every problem, answer every question, control every possibility, and then they wonder why the nervous system feels exhausted before the day has even really begun. But you do not have to do that anymore. You do not have to begin the day by wrestling life to the ground. You do not have to become positive by force. You do not have to smile while the body is still trembling. First, we soften. First, we breathe. First, we let the body know that it is no longer alone with its alarm. So before you say any affirmation, breathe out long. Let the jaw unclench. Let the shoulders come down. Let the belly stop gripping for just one moment. And then, from that softer place, begin speaking to yourself as though you are someone worth calming, worth comforting, worth guiding, worth loving, because you are, my darling. You are not here to bully yourself into peace. You are here to love yourself back into it. And that is why these words matter so much, not because they are magic sounds, because they become new instructions. They tell your mind where to turn. They tell your body what is safe. They tell your heart that it no longer has to live in constant anticipation of what might go wrong. So let us begin there, with the first group of truths, the ones that help the body cool down and the nervous system remember that fear is not the ruler of this day. Breathe out slowly and say, I am willing to release worries about things that have not happened. Again, more gently, I am willing to release worries about things that have not happened. And once more, like you are loosening your grip on an old habit, I am willing to release worries about things that have not happened. My dear, that sentence is so healing because most fear is not about this breath. It is about imagined breaths in a future your body is already trying to survive. So you tell the body the truth, not now, not all of that now. Then continue. I am safe in this moment, and everything is unfolding in its proper order. Let that be slow. Let that be medicine. I am safe in this moment, and everything is unfolding in its proper order. Again, I am safe in this moment, and everything is unfolding in its proper order. And then this next truth, so beautiful and so freeing. Fear is only a feeling. It is not the truth about my ability. Read that slowly too. Fear is only a feeling. It is not the truth about my ability. And again, fear is only a feeling. It is not the truth about my ability. My darling, that one changes so much, because fear often pretends to be prophecy. It says, because I feel afraid, I must be incapable. Because I feel uncertain, I must be unsafe. Because I feel weak, I must truly be weak. But no, feelings are weather. They move, they pass. They are not final identity. And if any of these sentences still feel too far away today, add, I am willing to believe I am safe. I am willing to believe I can let go. I am willing to believe this feeling will pass. Willingness is enough, sweetheart. You do not need to jump from fear to certainty in one breath. You only need to stop feeding fear as though it is the only truth in the room. And once the heat of fear begins to lower, even just a little, then you can begin restoring peace. Not fake peace, not stiff peace, not the kind where you are pretending to be calm while your whole body is still braced inside. I mean the kind of peace that returns through repetition, through breath, through inner agreement, through choosing again and again not to let every passing thought become a command. So let us move into this second group as though we are rebuilding your inner atmosphere gently, one sentence at a time. Say, I choose peace instead of conflict, both within me and around me. Let the words slow your chest. I choose peace instead of conflict, both within me and around me. Again, I choose peace instead of conflict, both within me and around me. My dear, that sentence matters because so much conflict begins long before it reaches the outside world. It begins in the way you argue with your own mind, your own body, your own timing, your own needs. So when you choose peace inwardly, you stop making your inner world the rehearsal stage for chaos. Then say, I trust the process of life to bring me what is for my highest good. Slowly now. I trust the process of life to bring me what is for my highest good. Again, I trust the process of life to bring me what is for my highest good. That is such a healing sentence because it teaches the nervous system not to run ahead and manage the whole invisible future. It lets life keep some of its mystery without making mystery equal danger. And then continue with this one, which is so embodied and so beautiful. My breath slows, my mind grows quiet, and I am in charge of myself. Say it again, but slower. My breath slows, my mind grows quiet, and I am in charge of myself. And once more, my breath slows, my mind grows quiet, and I am in charge of myself. My darling, do you feel what that does? It returns authority to you without force. It does not say the thoughts disappear. It says they no longer lead everything. That is the real meaning of peace. Peace is not the absence of all thought. Peace is that thoughts stop dragging you around like a child dragged by the hand through a crowded street. Peace is when you remain the one who can return, the one who can choose, the one who can breathe, the one who can widen the space between feeling and reaction. So, if you want a tiny practice here, let it be this. Inhale for 3 counts and say inwardly, I choose peace. Exhale for 6 counts and say, all is well. Again, inhale, I choose peace. Exhale, all is well. 1 minute of that can change the whole emotional direction of an hour, because the body begins hearing a new rhythm. The mind begins hearing a new home. And once the body feels calmer, you do not need to force positivity. Positivity rises more naturally when the fear is no longer running the room. And then, only then, my dear, once the heart has softened and the nervous system is not screaming quite so loudly, you can begin activating positive energy. I say that very carefully because I do not want you to use positivity like a mask. Positive energy is not pretending you are thrilled while your body is in collapse. Positive energy is choosing the direction of life after the heart has been soothed. It is saying, now that I am not drowning in fear, where do I want my energy to go? And that is a beautiful question. Because once fear quiets, even a little, life becomes available again. Ideas become available. Movement becomes available. Gratitude becomes available. Curiosity becomes available. So let these next truths be spoken not as pressure, but as invitation. Say, I am full of life, and I am ready to welcome the new opportunities of today. Again, with a little more openness, I am full of life, and I am ready to welcome the new opportunities of today. And once more, I am full of life, and I am ready to welcome the new opportunities of today. My dear, that sentence is not asking you to know what the opportunities are. It is telling the mind to stop staring only at what is wrong and begin becoming available to what may open. Then say, every step I take today brings me closer to the best version of myself. Let that be gentle. Every step I take today brings me closer to the best version of myself. Again, every step I take today brings me closer to the best version of myself. That is such a healing way to think. because it frees you from needing one perfect giant leap. It lets your life become a series of faithful steps. Then say, I am a magnet for kind people and favorable experiences. Slowly, like you are changing the room around you, I am a magnet for kind people and favorable experiences. Again, I am a magnet for kind people and favorable experiences. My darling, that sentence does not mean every person you meet will be perfect. It means your inner field is becoming less welcoming to drama and more welcoming to what is healthy, kind, and aligned. And then close this group with something very warm and very alive. Today is a gift, and I choose to live it with gratitude and enthusiasm. Again, today is a gift, and I choose to live it with gratitude and enthusiasm. And once more, today is a gift, and I choose to live it with gratitude and enthusiasm. That one opens the whole day, sweetheart. It reminds you that you are not merely surviving hours. You are receiving a life. I want to linger here for a moment because this third group is often misunderstood. People think positive energy means being endlessly upbeat, endlessly smiling, endlessly certain, endlessly high vibration. But that is not it. Positive energy is not forced happiness. It is honest alignment. It is what happens when the heart is no longer gripping fear so tightly, and now your energy can move towards something life-giving. It is the simple decision to walk in a direction that nourishes instead of one that depletes. It is the willingness to bless the day before the day proves itself. It is the choice to look for one open door instead of counting only closed ones. It is the courage to become available to something better than the old story. My darling, real positivity never shames your pain. It waits until the body is calmer, and then it says, "All right, sweetheart, now let us turn toward life." That is why these words matter so much. I am full of life is not denial. It is remembrance. Every step brings me closer is not fantasy, it is devotion. I am a magnet for kind people and favorable experiences, is not childish. It is the emotional posture of someone who no longer sees the world only through danger. Today is a gift, is not naive, it is sacred. It is the wisdom of someone who remembers that time itself is holy and does not want to spend the whole day in dread. So if positivity has ever felt fake to you, let it become this instead: direction after calming, warmth after truth, movement after breath, life after fear loosens its grip. That is real, that is embodied, that is sustainable. And maybe this is the most loving sequence of all, my dear. First, release fear, then restore peace, then activate life. That is the order, not because life demands perfection, but because the body needs tenderness before it can carry light. So, if you need to use this in the morning, do not rush. Begin with the body cue. Long exhale, soft jaw, lower shoulders. Then speak the first group until the nervous system stops screaming. Then bring in the second group until the mind begins settling. Then, only when there is a little more space, let the third group guide your energy into the day. This way of speaking to yourself is so different from the old way, is it not? The old way says, get up, be positive, move faster, stop feeling, fix it. But the new way says, come here, breathe, you are safe, choose peace, then walk. That is how healing and growth live together. That is how the morning becomes a sanctuary instead of a battlefield. That is how your words stop being another thing to achieve and start becoming a place to rest and rise. So let us gather them one more time, very softly, as though I am speaking directly to the deepest part of you that most needs to hear them. I am willing to release worries about things that have not happened. I am safe in this moment, and everything is unfolding in its proper order. Fear is only a feeling. It is not the truth about my ability. I choose peace instead of conflict, both within me and around me. I trust the process of life to bring me what is for my highest good. My breath slows, my mind grows quiet, and I am in charge of myself. I am full of life, and I am ready to welcome the new opportunities of today. Every step I take today brings me closer to the best version of myself. I am a magnet for kind people and favorable experiences. Today is a gift, and I choose to live it with gratitude and enthusiasm. Read them again tomorrow if you need to. Read them the next day too, because repetition is love being faithful. And faithfulness is how fear is replaced with peace and positive energy, one gentle morning at a time. Listen, my dear, you do not have to understand every word before it helps you. So many people make healing harder by trying to figure it out with the same mind that is already tired. But peace does not always enter through analysis first. Very often, it enters through the body, through a softer jaw, through shoulders that finally come down, through a belly that is no longer bracing against a future that has not happened. So before you listen, let your body listen first. Loosen the mouth a little, unclench the face, let the shoulders drop, let the stomach soften, and then press play, not like a student preparing for an exam, but like someone giving water to a thirsty garden. My dear, that is how these words begin to sink in, not through force, through softness. And choose one sentence only if you need to. Just one. I am safe now, or all is well, or I choose peace. You do not need to carry the whole world of healing at one time. One true sentence, repeated with gentleness, is often far more powerful than 10 sentences your body does not yet trust. Let it move with your breath. Let it become a rhythm. Let it become something the nervous system can lean against. If the old voice starts arguing, do not wrestle with it. Do not climb into the courtroom with your old fear. Simply name it very softly, old chatter. That is all. Not truth, not prophecy, not identity, just old chatter. Then come back to the breath. Come back to the sentence. Come back to this moment. And please remember this, sweetheart. Feel first, understand later. If you listen and all that happens is that you feel 5% lighter, then that is not small. That is healing. If your chest softens a little, that is healing. If your breathing slows a little, that is healing. If the mind shouts and you still return once, that is healing. We do not measure progress only by giant breakthroughs. We measure it by gentler nervous systems, kinder self-talk, and quicker returns to peace. Then, after you listen, do one tiny act that tells your body, yes, we mean this. Drink a glass of water, open the curtains, make the bed, wash your face, stand in the light. Stretch your arms. 2 minutes is enough. Let the inner word become outer movement. That is how peace stops being an idea and begins becoming your life. So if you listen tomorrow morning, listen like this. Soften first, choose one sentence, let the old chatter pass without debate, feel before you understand, and then bless the moment with one small action. My dear, that is enough, more than enough. You do not need to become a different person overnight. You only need to keep returning to the gentler one, already waiting inside you. So let me leave you with this, with warmth and certainty and love. I am safe now. All is well. I choose peace. Say it slowly. Say it kindly. Say it until your body begins to believe that home is not somewhere far away. Home is the moment you stop fighting yourself and start coming back.